Yes, my name's Chief Honorable Solomon Egwuenu. I'm a native of Abe, paternally. My father is from Abe, my mother is from Egwuenu. But my mother's mother is from an Isoko woman from Egwuenu. I grew up in Abe. Though from time to time I visit my people in Egwuenu. My father's grandmother too is from Ufagbe, so I relate intimately with Isoko. But that's my foundation. My maternal lineages are all over the place. They call me from time to time. I visited Britain. Even last 3 months I was in Britain. Yes.
So where were you born?
I was born in Abe here, in Umea. I had my primary education in Umea.
So how was it like growing up those days?
I grew up in a home, a very modest home. My father was not a rich man. My father was a native doctor, as a matter of fact. My mother was a full-time housewife. So because she's from the Riverine area, at times she goes to bring fish and sell fish. But my father travels. My father even sojourned as a native doctor every place in Ghana. And that from the proceed of his herbal practice that he used in training my first brother that was lost during the war. That one trained and was lost during the war. Thereafter, I was the last born in the house.
And that's the family?
Yes.
Children?
My father had 2 wives, 4 from my mother, 2 from the other second wife, 2 ladies from second wife. My mother had 3 sons and a lady from her, but we lost one of the sons earlier before I lost the second one during the war. Myself and my elder sister, now based in Lagos, are the only surviving children from my mother. Then my second, that's my other stepmother, have just a daughter that survived. The other ones are gone. But the grandchildren are coming home one to one. They are equally grandmothers now because my father died at the ripe age of 94, the 6th of February 1969. In fact, I was an accidental child because nobody expected a man to give birth to me. My mother and my father were old when they gave birth to me. Yes. I started my education. My intention was not to go to the health sciences.
No, start from primary school.
Primary school, I had my basic primary school from St. John's Seminary School, Abbey, where I had my primary education. And finished from 1965. But because there was no money to further, there was a time they were to introduce in 1967, they introduced a primary 7 education in that time. And we were the pioneers and last. So I had my primary 7 education in 1967. Thereafter, I terminated my education. But as easy we did, my brother, who was working in the Ministry of Internal Affairs in Benin City, he said I should go to secondary school. I took entrance. I passed all the entrances I took. I was to be admitted in Anglican Grammar School in Buluku, but the war came and we lost my brother. That is how I terminated. I was to enter secondary school in 1967, 68. But because of the loss of my brother, it ended. And then after I started doing petty job, I sold palm wine. I was in bar trading, selling other petty things. But my zeal for education is unquenchable. I now started a correspondence education with exam success. I was there, but I was not satisfied. Later, I insisted that I would go to secondary school. My father is dead, my brother, I have nobody. My sisters were trapped during the war in Lagos, Axis. There was separation from Western region and the other part of us. So I insisted on going to school. So my mother borrowed money and went to meet our people, and I started secondary in class 2. I am one person that attended secondary education for 3.5 years. I started in secondary 1970, secondary class 2. And incidentally too, when they first said that they started June examination in 1973. So I did my education from 1970 to 1973 June. As if my problem were not enough. When my mother borrowed money, he could only pay for first time. first term and second term I could not pay school fees, and my education was disjointed. But because of my academic performance and very extroverted person in the class, two American coppers that were in Nigeria teaching, Paul Ingerman and Josephine Dunham, identified my absence and sent for me. So 24th December 1971, that 1970, I met them and they said, why are you not coming? I said they could not, there was no money to pay my school fees. Both of them said they were going to pay my school fees. That's how the two American coppers gave me scholarship. And I came back, but I told them I will not repeat class 2. I will not repeat year 2. They said, but you didn't do exam. You only did one examination first time and second time. You didn't do it. I said, let them give me a chance. Dimas Akpore, of blessed memory, who is the principal and proprietor of the Grammar School. And the vice principal, Mr. Buzo, and the Bukuwa Shakaman, and the Sokoman. My mother talked to him and he said, they will give me a chance. That if I don't perform well, they will demote me to class 2 to complete my class 2. I said, it's all right. First time exam I took 4th. That is how I stayed. Second time first, and there was no stopping me thereafter. And I completed my secondary education in 1973, June. Incidentally, our school result was seized. Dimas Akpore has to personally go to WAEC, where Chukwemeke Kedem was the registrar, to retrieve our results. And I had the best results. There was no Division 1. That's the only year we didn't have a Division 1 in my school. But I had grade 2, 6 credits, and that is the only paper I started out was using. So that's how I started. Where do I go from there? I started hustling for education, but there was no sponsor, nobody. My mother was aged, like I told you. What do? I did examination, IMT Enugu then, to do company administration. I was admitted. I did admission if to the concession interest that time to read law. I was given concession interest, but there was no sponsor. Then I took state school of nursing. That time we were placed on grade level 4, where you are doing nursing education. That's how I accidentally found myself in nursing. I started schooling and I went into nursing in 1976. Had admission, was on salary, grade level 4, and I started working. I finished my nursing education in 1979 and passed my exam. I was an accident of nursing professional. As I say it every time to anybody. By nature, I'm a journalist, a lawyer, because I'm very vocal. I have to be there. Well, God has His way of determining things. I finished 1979. But I knew that I was not made for bedside nursing, because the domination of health profession by doctors was not interesting to me. The oppressed pharmacists, medical lab, everybody, they were taking all the credit, and all these people were working together. I said I was going to school. So when I worked 1980, I finished 1979. I worked 81. I was already in University of Ibadan. I did my bachelor's in nursing, and I finished. Unfortunately, before we could finish, they dismissed us. Those of us that were a hospital management board, that our application for study leave was not approved. 4 years after admission, it was not approved, and what I will have to finish as girl. Some of us lost our job, but the special grace of God, some of us that have a network of connection, we reached out, and some people moved to make sure that we should not be treated with that nature, and we were recalled back. But all the benefits we lost, but we employed and reposted. They posted me to General Hospital, Central Hospital Benin. I worked briefly in Central Hospital Benin. I was posted to. I worked. Well, like what I said, I wanted to mentor people. I have always liked training people, bringing people. I believe that this country will grow so much because we don't appreciate talents in this country. And I have been embarking on some silent revolution of bringing people that will appreciate their inner self, their quality, their worth. That's how I just now, by the grace of God, after working just 1987, they posted me to State School of Nursing in Benin City, where I started lecturing as a lecturer in State School of Nursing in Benin. I was there until the creation of Delta State in 1991. They took me back to the hospital. I became a unionist. I was chairman of my professional association. Even when I was in Benin, I was chairman of Hospital Management Board Nurses Association. I was secretary, PRO to chairman. Then I came to Benin, I became a unionist again. I became the state chairman, the first pioneer state chairman of my professional association in Delta State. I was there 1991, 92. They dissolved elected local government area and appointed caretaker committees. I was a councillor, supervisory councillor for health in the old Ndokwa West. With that time we have just Ndokwa West. The old Ndokwa, and that is how I became. We had just Ndokwa West and Ndokwa East, so Kwane was not created then. And I was the supervisory councillor. I was there. Later, Babangida equally dissolved the two political parties, SDP and PDP. From Abuja, they appointed me the caretaker chairman of NRC in Ndokwa West, and I handled that political party. There is a record that Ibru was a SDP governor here in the state. I was the only NRC party chairman that won a by-election under SDP government in the state, and I did. I was equally serious. As I was working, I was interested in going to school. By 1922, I said, let me diversify, so broaden my knowledge. I want to do industrial and labor relations in Delsu, and I have a master's in industrial and labor relations because I was always in the labor, so I wanted to know the nitty-gritties of labor, collective bargaining, negotiation, and other things, and I did it. I was not certified. Jointly, I now applied for a master's degree in public administration in Delsu too, and I was admitted for, and I have a master's degree. But before I was doing master's degree in Delsu, I applied for a master's degree in pure nursing, public administration, that community and public health nursing in Egwuenu. 2008, I got my public administration. 2012, I got my MOC. So I tell people I have 3 master's degree, and as I'm talking to you, I'm pursuing concurrently 2 PhD programs. So that is about me. While I was there, now I did a lot of work. When I was in Hospital Management Board, as a unionist, I held several positions. I was chairman of Public Service Joint Negotiating Council, representing all the 9 unions under public service. I negotiated salary, circular 1999 and 200 about US. They improved salary that I receive, civil servants are receiving now, and it's to my credit that I did it. When they were going to use only the circular for 1999, without a comparative, health workers maintain their comparative advantage, and I insisted they must include circular 200, which catered for health workers, MOSS for them, then ROSS for other health workers, and we got it. So why they have been working? I'm a community servant. People respect me because they know what I do. When I was there, I later started teaching. I went back to Agbo in 1997 as a lecturer in State School of Nursing. I was there as a classroom lecturer. And by 2006, I became the vice principal. By 2007, I became the principal of School of Nursing Agbo. And that was where I was until I retired in 2012, December 30th, 2012. As I retired, the benefit of education, people were looking for me everywhere, that I should come to the university. But that's how I transited from civil service to academics. I picked up my first job. I retired December ending 31st, 2012. My appointment letter is 5th April. I became a lecturer in the Department of Nursing, Niger Delta University, Bayelsa. When I was there, but while I was here too, I was a part-time lecturer in the nursing department in Delsu. I was there. I later became the HOD. 2016 to 2018, I became the HOD, community health, Department of Community Health Nursing. That's where I was. Then I was there until August 2008. I was no longer, they were owing salary, and they were not I was not comfortable with the way they were treating workers. I tried about. Because I know people were looking for me. A people wanted me. A friend said I should come to Egwuenu University. I was patient, but my brother, the owner of Novena University, who is a maternal cousin, I will always be looking for me, that he wants me to come and nurture a baby nursing department in Novena University. And equally to come and boost their public health department, because they know that I'm very fast in public health. It's my area. Even when they were, my specialty is infection control. So when this COVID was going on, I was very much advanced. I was advising, doing things for people. So by January 2019, I was employed in Novena University. That's where I've been lecturing in the Department of Public Health and nurturing the nursing department. To God be glory, and nurturing the nursing department has had fresh admission. We have a set of first new students, and I'm the pioneer HUD. That's where I am now. Thank you.
How many students do you have in the nursing department?
By the time I left, they were still handling. I was having about 15, but they are yet to allocate the amnesty, because we train amnesty students. About 4 luxurious load were green. They were still giving them admission before we disengaged last week. We are going to reconvene this week. We're starting lecture on Tuesday. So I won't know my number until when these people are disposed, because many of them, like Professor Koro told me, that your department is a hot cake. Many people are coming there. Even as I'm here, 3 or 4 people that had jammed that told me, I'm sending my students. I said that I want to bring them, I will admit them. Because I want to use that as a center of excellence in nursing education. And I will prepare people and do them a foundation. I've told the proprietor, I told the management, for the beginning, the first 2 years is purely academic, biology, chemistry, physics, GST courses, use of English language. Second year is anatomy, physiology, microbiology, medical microbiology, and all that. Then history of nursing, ethics of nursing. By the clinical year, which is 300 level, I will know the team I'm going to assemble. I just told them I need a team of about 3 or 4 people to be with me. And by that time, by 300 level, I'll have a model school there. And it will be a center of excellence. Yes, in the first place, let me begin. Abbey established the beginning when there was unity. We established Abbey Development Association, ADA, we call it ADA. And that organization mobilizes people to raise funds for the development of the community. On one of the occasions, based on my activities, they nominated me as the chairman, and I brought people from far and wide to raise funds for the development of this community. That is under the platform of ADA. 2, I've been a loyal servant to my people. I've held various positions. I was chairman, Abbey Youth Association. I was president, Abbey Students Association. I was a strong member of ICOBO, that's graduates of Abbey community. Then, during my working career, I've given employment to more than 15-20 Abbey people. As a principal school of nursing and as a principal actor in the Ministry of Health, I admitted more than 215 Dokwa people into various schools. As a university lecturer, I've admitted more than 20 people into various universities in the country. And as a committee leader, based on my contribution, I was given a chieftain title in my mother's place at Egwuenu. Even before my people recognized me here as a chief. Before my people awarded me chieftaincy in Abbey, I was given by my mother's people. As a councillor, I was present that when it's no longer viable, or it appears as if it's a farce, I mobilized tractors to grade all the roads, many towns in Ndokwa land, to have an access road. I mobilized my people, and in cases of various dimensions of conflict, I'm deeply involved in traditional conflict resolution machinery to make sure there is peace. And today, when our hope was dying, I'm the chairman of Abbey Electricity Supply Committee of the 3 quarters. I'm the chairman. When we lost hope with electricity, today I led a delegation to BDEC in Guinea and to Asaba, the outreach. We have the simple now. We are now for over a month we have not having light. And I've told people we are to meet last week, but we are going to meet this week now. We have sent a strong worded petition to people. Because I discovered people know me, I'm a civil rights activist. I was national president of People Awareness Movement, a civil rights organization. I don't like oppression. I don't like cheating. I stand for the people. I stand for truth. And I've been telling them, you don't have prepaid meters for people. You do approximation billing. And you don't supply light at the end of the month, you must send your bills. So my people are paying light bills by fraud for the development of for your profiteering organization that is not giving service to the people. So I'm going to meet them. The other time we met the NEPA manager, that the BDEC chairman that came here, started stealing our property. I made sure he was removed from this community. I led the delegation of the chiefs in the town, went to Obiaro, and he was removed immediately and replaced by another. We wrote a petition. We were to go to court, but they said let us have internal resolution. Even by this August, I employed 2 young men into the Ministry of Education. One from my side, another one from somewhere else, as security people. Under the present political dispensation, it's not easy to have access. It was not my power to. My godfathers that believe in me say, Egwuenu, send me 2 names because I know you are resourceful and you know you love your people. And that's how I got it, on the platter of gold. And that is what I do. I know I will never sell, if some people can afford to sell those positions and get money. But today I've empowered 2 young men that to gain pensionable job. And when I go to the palace, I'm always in palace as a principal officer. I'm Upute now. I was Ezo Jinogu of this kingdom. Ezo Jinogu. That's the chief, the Onotu that leads the warriors that goes for task force, the Onotu task force. I lead them when we're taking decisions or when we want to enforce a decision of the community. I lead them. I've handed over that position to another person now. I've been promoted a senior Onotu. That's what we call Upute now in the community. And when I go to the palace, I don't have plenty money as you see me. I have opportunity to make a lot of money, even in labor, but I refuse to sell. If I step into anywhere in the health sector today, they deify me, they pray for me. Those blessings are more better for me than money. Anywhere I go, Egwuenu. Even when I went there, they say, if it was the time of Egwuenu, we would not be suffering this world they were suffering in the healthcare sector. It gives me satisfaction to hear such things. Today, when I enter my palace, all the frontline chiefs shiver, because if you took a bribe to modify, to falsify cases, I disgrace you. Truth is truth. It has a permanent, like what I tell them in my own language. Truth has a permanent seat. Lies move, it has no seat. But truth will be waiting for lies. After maneuvering, you will come and meet truth where it's sitting. And that's the foundation. And I tell them, when I sleep like a baby, because I'm not afraid that somebody is going to kill me for what I did yesterday. My conscience goes to sleep too, because I have no conscience that's pricking me for mismanagement of information or mismanagement of denying people their right. It's not my nature. For example, now we're in a court, even in this community, over a case. I'm leading my people. The same Mumia, one side and one side. We are 2 sections in Mumia. The other side is 2 streets. My side is 6 streets. They have been basically arguing that we share things equally. I said no. Equity and justice cannot allow 6 streets share the same thing equally with 2 streets. The committee is telling them to listen to everybody. We are in customary court now. I'm equally trying to negotiate with them. Let us settle out of court because we are wasting our money. But if they fail, we will conclude it in court. Because like I tell them, there is no way you can tell me that in your greed, you want to maneuver it that 2 streets will be sharing things equally with 6 streets. Simple equity and justice does not allow that. Humanity does not allow it. Our God, the Creator, does not allow it. This is unfair. So I stand for justice. I stand for truth. I stand for honesty of purpose. And today I'm the leader of the youth. Any problem in this community, I'm the first person they will report to, because they have confidence in me. The other day, police arrested our leaders, the hunters. That's what people call it, who are traditional soldiers. That they caught a thief and judged it in their way and collected money for them. Police arrested them. The man, the leader of the people were to die. I went down and told people, if you don't release this people, release him and put me there. But DPO has sense. He's a wise man. And he said, no, chief, take your person. Later you come, we'll sort it out. And we came and sort it out. They said they should refund the money. I told them that these people are using traditional means to charge them before because we don't send people to prison, but we find them here and collect them. But you will collect money from them in police station and still send them to jail. Some of them. And because of it, the DPO did not take 10 naira. I just said we should go and solve our problem ourselves. And to go to the person, as I was removing the man from the police station because he stayed there 2 days without food, he fainted. If we didn't go that day to intervene, the man would have died. And you can imagine the anarchy that would have followed. Because that police station would have been burnt. Because you cannot hold the youth when such an incident takes place. So in this community, they believe in me. Over the years, I've carved a niche for myself by laying a foundation. I fail to deviate. I fail to be bought. I refuse to be influenced by properties and words. I remain focused. And that is my blessing. Even when I visited the Edwin Clark in Egwuenu over the years, and told him my person, when he came to deliver a lecture, I was national PRO of University of Ibadan Alumni Association. Today, currently, I'm the chairman of the scholarship committee of University of Ibadan Alumni Association. Small me. So that is me. Thank you very much. The Obaroku and the senior Okwas, if you go there and mention my name, they will tell you that's a blessing to this community. I relate very positively with them. And I remain very intimately for them. Once in a while, I even supply Okra with something. I empower him, attend to him, buy them drink. At times, after meetings, sometimes when they don't have enough, I buy drink for the palace from my heart and resources. So I relate very positively with my people. And my relationship with my people is cordial, from Elusia to Kule. Incidentally, I'm a bifurcation of the two sections. My wife is from this place. My wife is the daughter of an Okwa here, the renowned chief Eka Ikoloma, one of the Okwase. My wife is a daughter to that man, one of the most important referred man, who the only man that's written the history of Abe, recorded document as a legal tender that was tendered in court and everywhere as a citation for authority. My father-in-law did it.
Where is he from? Okwele?
He's from Okwele. Chief Robert Ekeloma, retired civil servant.
He's old and rich.
He's an Okwa now. He's an old man, very old man.
What educated?
Educated, they were first pioneer educated people. In fact, it's the engine room of Okwele here. As anyone was easy in nature. That old man, the other old man, CN was the former commissioner, former that the next person you are going to see. And they were telling us publicly, but to the glare of people, that Egwuenu is going to take over from you in Niger. They told us that what you had did before is Egwuenu is going to take over from Niger. That's this small boy. But I'm not small, I'm 60-something years. Thank you. But before you go there, let me tell you people, let me appreciate you people. The Niger entire region has been badly underdeveloped. I want to appreciate people for this initiative. We require to mobilize our people. We require to harness our resources for a better generation. We are the goose that lays the golden egg. We are not benefiting. But we require serious intellectual management, because before the hoodlums and the erratic young one hijack it for their selfish interests.